How you doing, guys? It's David here at Casino Quest. For the last couple months, I've been working with Jeremy at Color Up on a new series where I teach him all about dice from the perspective of the dealer. So we've been going over everything you need to know, like the shooter rules and playing the pass line, the don't pass, the order of operations, all those tricks and secrets of being a dealer and things that you could learn as a player to improve your game. So we look forward to joining you here on Casino Quest or at Casino Quest. And of course, don't forget, these videos will also be available on Color Up's channel. So make sure to subscribe there and here as well. All right, so now we're gonna talk about some special bets. So direct, what I like to call direct bets, direct bets, the number. Place bets, of course, direct bets, but we're gonna go over puts, buys, and direct lays. So let's start with the put bet.
Place is a direct bet also, but it's just more common, right?
It's just much more common. Most people are more familiar with that. You got your place bets across. You know what they pay, and you build them up.
Specialty bets here today.
But these are specialty bets. Okay, these are the bets that not everybody is as familiar with. And a lot of dealers, it throws a wrench in their gameplay as well because it sort of changes the dynamic of the game. Okay, tell you what, let's start with direct lays first. So the first thing about direct lays, a lay is the same. It's the same kind of odds you get for betting. If you have a don't pass and a flat bet and you take a lay, a direct lay is sort of taking that lay but paying a commission on the win. So you're paying for the benefit of going directly behind the number, and it's exactly the opposite of a buy. Okay, so a buy bet is a bet where you're paying to get paid true odds. So you get true odds on the payoff and you're paying for that benefit of 5% commission. In that case, on a buy bet, you pay on the bet. On a lay bet, you pay on the payoff, not the bet itself. You pay on the payoff.
So $50, I want to lay on the 10.
Right, on the 10. So I pay you, so it's going to cost you $1, and that's based on the fact that it's going to pay a quarter, and most casinos will just charge you $1 for that first quarter you win. Gotcha. Another $1 for the second quarter. Now they go to either $3 or $4 because technically you should pay $1.25 for this, but of course there's no quarters on anymore, no bird games. So they just round it. They give you the benefit of this. Now here's an interesting little fact. So here, I tell people, listen, I used to have a guy. Okay, so let's say for example, you say I want to lay the 4 and the 10, right? No, here I want to lay them for $100 each. Okay. I want to lay $100 each, right? So if you lay these for $100 each, this is a little secret, this little tidbit, okay? Now, so this is going to win 50, and this is going to win 50, but for a grand total of 100 if the 7 rolls. I'm going to charge you $5 because it pays 100, okay? Now, this is a tidbit to save people $1. Not that anybody cares, but let's say for example, instead of betting it this way, you said to me, you know what, David? Give me a lay for 100 behind the 10, okay? Just like this. I'm going to charge you $2. You see?
You rounded down for that one.
Yeah, because I'm rounding it down. I'm only charging you $2 because it's going to pay 50, right? So I'm only charging you $2. Now, if you wait a second and give me the other 100 and say, you know what? Now I want to lay the 4. Guess what? I'm going to charge you another $2. You saved yourself $1.
So that brings up a question I have is. I'm familiar more with buy bets. Yep. But some places will take the vig on a win, or some will take them
always on the win. On a buy bet. So buy bet is literally on the bet itself. You pay on the bet, and most casinos now, yes, Atlantic City you have to prepay. Okay. Not just Atlantic City, but some casinos that are out of market where it's not as competitive, where they're the only show in town. So if you want to buy the 4 and 10, let's say, I know
we're getting away from the lays, but that was the question because.
So let's start with the buys. Let's start with the buys. Okay, so let's buys by default. So this button by default tells you when your bets are working or off, right? You can change the default by using a button and telling the dealer. So if you see this as an off and you have a $5 9, okay, as a place bet, any optional bets, okay, and you want it working, okay, default's off. You need to tell the dealer they put a button on it. It's now on. Okay, so whenever you want to change the default status of your bets, just look for this button. Wherever this button is, that's what your bets are doing. Okay, when this is on a number, your bets are on by default. If you want them off, you need to let them know to change the default status. Okay, we'll get that out of the way real quick. Okay, now let's go to the buys. Easy.
Yeah, I want to buy 10.
10. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to put you on a buy in 10. Now some casinos will use a button. Okay, and they'll put a buy button on it, so that clearly denotes that you're going to get paid 2 to 1, true odds, minus a 5% commission. Now, some casinos will charge you $1 up front. They'll ask for the dollar for the luxury, the benefit. Others do what's called an automatic buy. An automatic buy, like Stacy Casinos here in town, by the way, and a few other properties, starting at $10, literally $10, because that's the earliest that you gain a benefit from a buy. So for example, a $5 10 pays $9. A $10 10 would normally pay $18, okay? But let's say instead of you pay $1 VIG, but it pays 2 to 1, 20, you get paid 19. You see? So you get paid an extra $1. So this is where they start automatic buy. And if a place has an automatic buy, then they're not charging you the VIG in advance because they're just taking it out of the payoff when they go to pay you. So in this case, I would just pay you $19, and I just pay you $19. I don't even ask for a VIG. I don't have to go through any of that. Or I could give you 20 and ask you to drop me $1, just like I'm paying like a $10 9, 15 for 1, this type of thing. Okay, those casinos that you see the buy button, those are the casinos that are probably going to ask you for the VIG up front. So in this case, for example, if you wanted to go across, it would be 132 across. Yeah, 132 across. I think about this. 132 across because you'd have to pay the extra $1 for the 4 and 10. Other places it's only 130 across, and then you have the automatic buy on the 4 and 10. All right. So you always pay on the bet itself when it's a buy. So this you would pay so you pay based on this bet. So you pay $1. If you go to $50, now you're going to pay $2. If you go to $75, it would be a $3.75 VIG. So I always drop the 0 and then half. So it's $75, so $750 is 10%, half of that is $3.75, and most casinos will round out and ask you for $4. But in this case, it pays $150 minus 4 or $146. $125, $45, $46. The great thing about that is, okay, I used a little bit of math, but let's say I'm not a big on a math guy. Ready? Here's what I do. I got 3 greens. Yep. I need twice as many. I need 6 greens. Okay, so now I know it pays 4. I need to take $4 out of one of these. That's pretty easy. I just leave $21, and there's my payout.
Nice.
You follow?
Yeah.
And again, we get away from the math as much as possible, and we go to the units and the colors. All right. So here, let's work with a couple. 4s and 10s are easy. Buys are easy. Starting at 10, so 15, for example, would pay 9. If you paid it 9 to 5, it'd pay $27. If we do the buy, automatic buy, it's going to pay $29. That's why, I have a new worksheet going up that talks. You can't account for this everywhere because casinos, competitive casinos, they're going to be auto buy. Other casinos, not so much. I imagine where you're at, probably not. You probably have to prepay.
No, they're actually.
They really? Yeah, oh, very good.
So many, so
wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, so let's go. Here's a new thing. Let's move the buy over to the 9.
Yeah.
So yep. So
you rarely see, but yeah.
You rarely see, but some Midwest casinos, and I've heard that some Biloxi casinos now have automatic buys on the 5 and 9. Automatic. You don't even have to prepay, just like on the 4 and 10. So let's look at it from this perspective. I have a $20 9, and I have a $20 buy on the 9. Okay. So true odds on the 4 and 10 is 2 to 1. 6 ways to a 7, only 3 ways to the 4 and 10, 2 to 1. So it pays you exactly what it's supposed to pay, right? Minus the 5% VIG. True odds on the 5 and 9 are 3 to 2. 6 ways to the 7, 4 ways to the 5 and 9. So again, 3 to 2. But here, this pays 7 to 5. So $20 9 would pay $28. Okay. Here I have a $30 payoff minus a $1 VIG. So I'm going to get an extra $1 for my effort here, right? So the same way, so for example, let's do this in greens. Let's say I have a $50 place bet, $50 buy. Now, interestingly, here's the deal in Vegas. In Vegas, if you have to pre-buy, you don't make a lot of money. Right. If you post buy, if it's an automatic buy, if you can say, so there's no benefit. If they ask you for the VIG up front on the 5 and 9, there's really less of a benefit. Right. But if they're letting you buy it and charging you the VIG after, then you can, right? Because it's the same thing. The 6 and 8 almost never make out. Right. It'd have to be some ridiculous sum to make $1 kind of thing. So right. There's no real buying on the 6 and 8. But here you have, this pays 70. Okay. This pays 75 minus $2. $73. So you get a little premium.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of work, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It doesn't pay, like the 4 and 10 is easy. It's a no-brainer. 5 and 9, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I still place the 5 and 9,
yeah.
even though I know it kind of makes a little difference. Unless you're a bubble player. If you're a bubble player, those things pay to the penny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so always buy the 5 and 9.
Yeah, so you just buy everything.
Yeah,
yeah,
just
all
because they do the math correctly and round.
Yeah.
They don't round you out of a.
Yeah, and you don't have to make the exact bets. You can make any amount bet, right?
Right.
Whatever. You can just put whatever on there.
Yeah, you just, you don't.
$17 5K, whatever you got working, you can just plug it around. All right. Yeah, so that's how the buy bet works, okay? And then the lay is the exact opposite. And here's the 4 and 10 lays, it's pretty easy, right? So it pays exactly the opposite in terms of true odds that that the numbers in front pay, okay? So like where it was 2 to 1 here, you're getting 1 to 2. Every 2 pays you 1. Okay, 2 green gets you 1 green.
So then my initial question was the vig typically up front or behind, or
so again
does it just
no, it doesn't always. Every casino will pre-charge you for the vig on the don'ts. They hate these bets. Okay, because these are bets. Once you have it down, even though you're paying a vig, it's sort of in your favor, right? There's more chance, a lot more chance. Well, 7 before 10.
Sure.
I have never seen a casino that does not charge you up front for the lays.
Okay.
I mean, there may be one, and I would love to hear anyone if there is one, but I've never seen it myself. So here they have. Now, by the way, these bets, okay, a buy bet you can always turn off. Let's say we're on the point of 8 and you're like, you know what, I've won, I hit the buy, I hit that 10 a couple times, now I want to turn it off. Again, if you want to change the default status, look for this button. If this is on, you want to go off, you have to tell them you want off, right? These bets you can turn off. Lay bets are always working. An off lay bet is in your rack. Okay, this only can work. So let's say, for example, you want a $50 lay on the 10, and it's going to cost you 51. Okay, you're going to throw in 51, I want to know 10. Then I'm going to put the lay button on. I'm going to give you no 10 and lock up your dollar juice. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Hey.
It's in the details. The little event. You're a dealer now. Wow.
I'm learning.
Graduate. All right, good. All right. So now we have a $50 lay on the 10. Okay. Yep. So if a 7 rolls, you're going to get paid 25, and I'm going to ask for another $1 if you want to leave it up. If you take it down, you don't have to pay anything. You've already prepaid the juice, this kind of thing. The juice. Okay. I wanted to say big and juice at the same time. All right. So the other option is if you want to take this off. If you say off, I want to take my lay down, I would then give you your vig back because you prepaid. Nothing has happened. You don't lose out on your vig. It's amazing the number of people who really don't know dice very well. Supervisors who kind of ignore the rules of the game kind of thing. But if you've had no action on this whatsoever, it hasn't hit, this is your bet.
So after so many rolls, 9 rolls, the guy's getting nervous. He's like, oh my gosh, it's never going to, let me
go down. Sure, you could take it down and we give you your juice back and, we part friends kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, so you prepay that. Now, if you decide, so there's no such thing as turn me off. So there's no, let me put an off button on here and leave you up. Gotcha. Off is down. Okay. You know what I mean? If you're a player and you want off, it's just down. Any bet behind a number is always working. All right, so let's move to the 9. Because I think 4 and 10 is pretty easy lay.
See those all the time?
Yep.
Nothing inside. Never see anyone lay a number
inside. Interestingly, the highest level action I've seen for don't players, like really big don't player action, like $1,000, $1,200, is a guy that would literally just work $1,200 lays on the 6 and 8. $1,200 lays on the 6 and 8. That's it. So wins $1,000, $50 juice, and plays all day because those are the numbers that you don't have to pay so much. You got to pay one. Every 2 gets you only 1 here. Every 3 gets 2, but this 6 to 5, it's not bad. Of course, these are common numbers. You got to go.
It's
a little more risk, better, more reward. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, so let's go over. We're going to go over that real quick. So every 3 chips gets you 2 chips. I'm starting with the higher denominations in green because quite literally, a $30 9, no 9. Again, you would get charged $1 because guess what? It wins $20, right? Because 30 gets you 20, right? Every 3 gets you 2. So it would cost you $1, so it would cost you 31. I put a lay button on. If it wins, I would pay you $20 and ask if you wanted to stay up. If you wanted to stay up, you would throw in $1 vig. I would hand that $1 vig into my working area to show that it was paid, and then hand your money off, that kind of thing.
So probably not going to let you lay less than that because At some point.
Well, I mean, I believe it or not, I used to work a $3 table, and they would let him do a $9 lay on a $3 game. So it pays $6, only $5 because he has to pay $1 juice for that lay. Right. It should be a quarter, say. Yeah. But that's what he wants to play. The casinos are happy to entertain people that don't know any better because the same people that bet $10 eights and refuse to add the $2 cap, just do not want to add the 10, just don't think it's worth it. I mean, the casino loves that. That's free money. You know what I mean?
But on the other end, a lot of times, I know you said they're changing here and they're letting you buy for 10. A lot of places won't let you buy for 10 because it's technically a 10% commission, but
so
it does pay better than the place. But
no, that's right. So it really just depends on where you are and literally how stubborn, But that's why we're here to educate people so they have a better. And casinos, by the way, our casino part, they love educated people because educated people play. Yeah. They're not intimidated. There's nothing stopping them from playing the game. If the less you know, the more intimidated you are, less likely you're just to play. Who cares? And this game is already enough in favor of the casino. You know what I mean? It's a great game, not that in favor, by the way. The more you know how to play, you can get the odds down quite a bit on this game. You know what I mean? On both sides, but okay. So really it's whatever you want, but that's why we're gonna start with greens. So here, every 3 wins you 2, and this will cost you $2, $1 for each of those greens, that kind of thing. So every $20 that you win is gonna be, no matter what number it is, every 20 that you win is gonna cost you $1. So that's another way. Every 100 that you win is gonna cost you $5. Every 500 you win is going to cost you $25.
So when I make that bet, I'm going to be 75. I know it's going to win 50. Yep. I gotta
$2 big.
72.
Yep.
So even if I don't know that, you as a dealer are probably going to ask.
That's exactly right. And you can even ask, say, listen, I want to win. So there's 2 ways that I know a lot of players will ask, especially even experienced players. They'll tell me what they want to win, and as a dealer, I'll work that out. So let's say I want to win $50. I want to win $50 on the 5 and 9. What do I need? You need $75, sir. You know what I'm saying? So you want to win 50, and that's a good way to go about it. You as a player, that's your sort of threshold, right? You can create different types of thresholds for how you play. One is what you're willing to risk. How much of your bankroll are you willing to risk on any single bet? And then is sort of the risk reward. How much do you want to? So people that want the biggest rewards, they go into the props. They just fling, prop bets nonstop, right? The next thing on a crap table is, okay, what's my win? I want to create opportunity. How do I create opportunity? What's my win? So here we are, a $75 9 is going to win you $50. All right, I'm going to put a lay button on it. Again, in the position relative to you. I'm going to pay, by the way, you're going to get paid last. Okay, you're going to be played in the order of any DC bets I have here. So you have to wait your turn. So if I have other things going on, if a 7 out rolls, and I've got don't pass, I'm going to have to pay them first, this kind of thing, and then I'm going to pay you relative to the position that you're in. So these bets are just like they won, so I'd pay $50, take this button off, and then boom. If you wanted to come back, you'd have to, drop the money and come back. Okay, I'm going to get you.
By default, does it come down?
Well,
or do you ask before you kind of do it?
Yeah, so unlike some other bets,
stay up.
So DC, you always ask if they want to stay up. It doesn't come down because you assume if people are doing direct lays, they tend to keep these active, or maybe not. They might wait for the next shooter. I had a player who would wait 3 rolls. He would wait 3 rolls and then come down the lays. That was his thing. You know what I mean? So everybody has, you know what I'm saying? So it all depends. All right, I'm going to give you, now I'm going to do tips, and this is going to be one of our tips and tricks thing. Okay, this is going to be watch 6 and 8. So dealers have a lot of difficulty sometimes figuring out the 6 and 8 lays. And players, all the player needs to know is, let's say the point of 10, just to keep the puck out of the way. If it's a correct place bet, if it's divisible by 6, it's a correct lay. So anytime you have, all you have to know is, if it works as a place bet, if you know you've been a place bet better your whole life, and you know the place bets fairly well, you got a sheet, whatever it is, if it's a good place bet, it's a good lay, okay? So starting with, let's say, for example, you know a $30 6 and 8.
Right.
$30 6 and 8, as a place bet works, so we know that as a lay, it's going to work. And the lay always pays what's under the cap, okay? So how do we know the cap? Well, first in my head, or your head, or we move it to the place bet. The cap is the bet plus the cap is the win. We know this pays 35, so the cap is $5. The bet plus the cap is the pay. So we don't have to know always 7 times 5, or 7 times, divided by 6 times 5. All we have to know is the bet plus the cap is a payout. So for example, let's make this a little more interesting. $42 bet. Now, A lot of people are familiar with this bet. A lot of our audience it pays $49. So if we know it pays 49, we know the cap is 7 because 42 plus 7 is 49, right? If we move this bet to the lay and we want a $42 lay, the lay pays what's under the cap, the $7 cap. What's under it is $35. If I'm going to pay you, I'm going to pay you $35 and it's $2 vig because I'm going to round up to that $40, $20. Every 20 you win costs you $1. I'm going to charge you $2. You follow?
Okay, yep.
So this is a way for dealers. Let me give you a bigger example real quick, okay? Because this is David's secret sauce, just so you know, okay? $150 place bet on the 8 pays $175. It's amazing how many dealers, when they're starting, they think about this. There are 4 green in a black and 2 green here. The odds pays 7 to 6, so 6 green is going to get 7 green or $175. This is $150, pays $175. The bet plus the cap is the payout. So I know the cap on this bet is $25. Now, on the don'ts, if someone gives me a $150 lay on the 8, I know the cap is 25, and I know the bet pays $125 because what's under the cap is what it pays. And now I'm charging you $5 for the black and $1 for the green, $6. So in this case, again, I can just go like this, 125, right? I could break this down, take $6 out of it. Now I got 19 bucks left, lock this up, and boom, that's my payout. And then, you know, you can either pay, I can take it out of the payout or whatever. So a lot of dealers get really hung up on these, like, so let's say here, $360 rate. It's like a $36 rate. All we did was add a 0. 360, 36 pays 42. Okay, so 360 pays 420. Okay, so here, 420. That's a lot of people's new favorite number here in Vegas, okay? Just so you know, it's kind of legal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right. So 360 plus the cap is right here, it's 60 bucks.
Okay.
Right? Because 360, if I'm not sure what this pays, I could cut out 360 plus the $60 cap. That's the payout, $420, $420. Now, if I move this back to a lay, I know that a $360 lay pays what's under the cap. What's under 60 bucks, there's $300 left. And boom, done. See? Now it's $5. Now it's going to cost 15 bucks, $5
So you either
every
pull
block.
out the 15 or you
ask the player. Yep, done.
Okay.
We're good? So there it is. It makes it easy. 6 and 8 lays. Some lays, don't side. Did we get everything? I think we got everything for that one.
I think.
Good?
The lays, the
buys.
buys.
Yeah. Oh, put bets. Put bets next. We got to do put bets next.
Okay.
We're out of time on this one, but put bets. All right, good stuff.